Captain Miller is a gritty action-adventure movie set in the 1930s, which highlights the difficulty of people at the time, as well as the moral gray area that comes with killing people for the sake of helping someone else. Hey, welcome to Americans Review. I'm Luke, and this is my review of Captain Miller. So, I saw this movie in the theaters just last night, the way it was supposed to be watched, of course, and it was quite a treat. I was really excited to see this movie because it's actually based on a real life character, Captain Miller, who was a rebel revered as a martyr around that time in the 1930s. So I doubt many of the events of the movies actually took place in real life, but it's still really cool to see, whenever movies base things off of a real life person. So, also, another huge reason for me having to see this movie was Dhanush, of course. He was paid $1.8 million, which is crazy amount even for like a movie star. But in my opinion, he earned every single penny for sure. The movie follows somewhat of a revenge arc as Miller tries to atone for his past misdeeds, and maybe throughout that, there's the idea that it's impossible to atone for the things that he's done, which is kind of cool. He refers to himself as like a devil as he's navigating justifying or not caring about the people he kills. But other people almost referred to him as godlike for being that rebel and trying to fight for justice. But he doesn't see it that way. Um, Typically, these big action movies, there's a lot of like just like casual killing, sometimes with joy and excitement. And don't get me wrong, this movie definitely has a lot of killing. But what you see in this one is there's a lot of like moral, emotional difficulty around taking a life. Like there's, severity around killing someone, which you don't normally see. And I really appreciate that. Um, how these different characters justify taking someone's life in the name of justice. You know, so Captain Miller, played by the incredible Dhanush, of course, is a super likable character who just starts by wanting respect. That's why he wants to be called Captain. You know, and throughout, Miller feels very human. By the acting, of course, and you can see that the fear and the guilt that is just constantly hiding under the surface throughout this movie. It's really beautiful and stunning to watch. So much raw emotion. Danush's acting was top notch. Okay, even in battle, he would like flinch at an explosion or something like that. And seeing those character choices was really interesting because you can see that he's still human. He's afraid. He's scared, but he's just trying to fight and kind of atone for maybe some things that he's done in the past. So the director, I thought, did an incredible job of showing all these different groups of peoples. Right, there were the British, there were the king and the prince, and then there's also the townspeople and the rebels, and you could really just see clearly the different groups and their motivations and why they're doing things. Like the English people just kind of seemed crazy, which I really enjoyed. The prince and the king, they just wanted to keep part of the land. I'm not trying to give too many spoilers here, but I do think that the prince acted a little crazy, like crazy, like a psychopath, and I wasn't really sure why he was doing that. It was a little bit confusing, but in the end, I kind of got used to it. I really enjoyed how the townspeople were depicted, how we're shown. They were just humble, hardworking, and just trying to get by, just trying to survive. And so I thought that was really cool. I will admit, towards the end, I did get a little bit bored. There was that, of course, the big fight scene, and I feel like, it got to the climax, and then it just kind of stayed there. And there wasn't that really big final push of excitement. Also, there was never a part where I was really like scared that Miller might die. He always seemed really in control, and I know he's supposed to be this really godlike character, but I still want to see that vulnerability, the chance that he might die, even though we all know he probably isn't. I would have appreciated that more. And also, there were a few parts of the script I was just a little bit confused, not sure why he was doing one thing or another or deciding to do something. Maybe I just need to watch it a second time. It'll make more sense, right? So, given all of that, how much I loved it versus a little bit of the confusion, maybe dragged out a little bit towards the end, not quite as exciting. You may disagree with me. It's perfectly understandable. I would give it 4 stars out of 5. All right, that is my review, and thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video. I will be doing many, many more. All right, have a good one. Bye.